driven for search of excellence and accomplishment and thriving forward by these two sentiments. It's being groomed with us in a very careful way. You know the story about the mother who buys her son two ties, one red and one blue. So Saturday he come to visit her with the red tie, and she give him that look and say, well, you don't like the blue tie I bought you. So next Saturday he come with the blue tie, she look at him and she says, well, you don't like the red tie I bought you. So next Saturday he come with the blue tie and the red tie, and she's being embarrassed for half a minute. Then she collect her thought together and said, well, your wife is really driving you crazy. So this is one part. The other explanation of this phenomena here is the fact that everybody assumes responsibility, what we call in Hebrew Rosh Gadol. Rosh Gadol, I think, is the archaic enemy of the classic quality, because Rosh Gadol means big head. In Hebrew it's big head, means that everybody has the right not only to express an opinion, but also have the right to go and execute what you think. Everybody is a stakeholder, and everybody knows what's good for the company, what's good for the product, what's good for the nation, what's good for humanity, what's good for human being, what's good for green technology, green energy better than anybody else. I remember a very nice story that the American guy who got the concession, this was like 20 or 25 years ago, for the cable, for laying television cable in Beersheba, told me. He told me that he came to see the cable and he saw that one of the poles was placed like 1 meter away from the line, not according to the plans. So he came to the worker who assembled the poles and asked him, why did you not put it according to the scheme? This was an American, he expected that when you draw a plan, people will go and follow the plan. And the guy told him, look, if I saw that there is a wire which going this way, so by moving the pole, I saved the support, one of the supporter, and I saved the company about $9.50. So it was much better to place it where I decided to put it, not where the engineer asked him. So the guy told him, look, you're supposed to take the plans and to do whatever you know. And he told him, no, I know better what is good for the company than the engineer. The engineer didn't see that there is a wire going. This American was totally couldn't believe it. But this is here, everybody knows better, everybody has a stake, everybody feel an owner, and you can argue whether it's good or bad. Like everything in life, it has advantages and it has disadvantages, but one thing is for sure, everybody is committed. Everybody is committed. You go in the high-tech areas on Friday and Thursday, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock by night, you will see at the street level people in restaurants and in bars, and in the top levels you will see the lights on until midnight, because people don't go home at 5 o'clock. They also not come usually at 8 o'clock, but everybody is very committed. There is a very strong affinity among the people. Robert Axelrod in 1963 wrote about the generalized reciprocity. And generalized reciprocity means that you are doing something good for your community without expecting an immediate reciprocity. That you look after your neighborhood because you know your neighbors will look after you. You have this kind of commitment of feeling in a small community where people feel responsibility for each other. In Israel, it is very recognized, and at any time of emergency, you will see that everybody is flowing flowing in. We had, in July 2 years ago, we had the Lebanon war, which was a very unpleasant thing. 700,000 people left the north part of Israel. They were actually displaced people. They were refugees, if you want. But these people, where you see in every war zone in the world, you see people are going with big packs on their heads or carrying carriages, or you see loads of trucks and pickups, and you see people sleeping in the streets. Here, the 700,000 people, which is 10% of the population of the country, were accepted to other people's homes, hotels, temporary shelters, few of them. Nobody was sleeping in the park. Nobody was sleeping in the street. Everybody was adopted, and everyone tried to do something to their friends. This is a phenomenon that we Israelis are taking for granted, but it's really something which is unbelievable, and it's another manifestation to this feeling of generalized reciprocity in this society. We also like to whine. As we say in Hebrew, we are cooters. Cooters mean that you sit and you have complaints against the government, against the management, against your peers, against your remote relatives, against the municipality. Everybody complains. We are a country of people who are complaining. But what is this complaining? These complaints, I think, is a manifestation to the fact that we are never happy with what we have. We always strive for better. We always try to achieve better for us and better for our family and better for our friends. And this is another dimension of this society, which at the end of the day is being manifested in the high-tech industry. We're never happy with the product. One of the companies which I was involved, which became very famous, is ICQ. I assume some of you heard about it. This was the first version of internet-wide instant messaging, and this was one of Israel's major contribution to the reduction of productivity in the world, because we know that people who are having instant messaging are using it 4.5 hours per day, and this, you can say, it's ruined productivity. Maybe it's also reduced the number of bad things that people will do, etc. By the way, 70% of the traffic on ICQ is being used for gossip and discussing your friends and your bosses, etc. So this is very important tool. We always release the beta version of the product. We never release the finished version of the product. We used to release the product every 3, 4, 5 months. And it always was a beta, because we always try to, somebody has an idea, he goes and release it. Not so much tested, crash few computers, crash more than few computers. Well, if it's crash more than few computers, you immediately get complaints of the users, and you go back and you try to fix it, but it was revolving all the time. From a quality point of view, I'm not sure that we test it to the very end. From a user satisfaction point of view, if you go to Google and you search for ICQ, you will find over 400 million mentioning of the term, and 400 million is a very large number. If you look after another product which came from this part of the world 2,700 years ago, Bible, you will find it 160 million times on Google. So it gives you a proxy what the young generation is interested at. So we see a very interesting trade-off. Again, I think that I may irritate some of you by trying to hint that maybe there is a trade-off between quality and how fast you can satisfy your customers, and to what extent your customers are happy with products which are not totally honed and tested